Did you know that top sales performers spend at least 7 hours per week doing research on their prospects and potential targets? That's actually a shame, because that's also time they could be spending doing the most important thing, selling. Account executives who do their research right are 4 times more likely to book a meeting, double their open rates in LinkedIn connections and emails, and are overall more efficient in their research and also book better results because of that reason. So the challenge is as follows. Since what I've talked about earlier in other videos as well, since people are being bombarded with content, with messages, and it's all super unpersonalized, people kind of crave authentic content. Because what people kind of developed over time, and especially buyers who are getting a lot of outreach from sellers, is they developed a mental spam filter, something I've talked about before. And that mental spam filter filters messages, so it makes them ignore generic and mediocre messages. So that makes, when you are selling to a prospect, you need to focus on what really matters, understanding their pain. Instead of you selling your product, you need to solve their problem. What is their pain? And for that, you need to do research. You can rather do research for a small amount of people and be successful than try to book results for a large amount of people without any research. So when selling to a prospect, trying to push your product or push your service all the way usually isn't the solution. You need to be listening to their problem. What's the problem you can solve from them? And for that, you need to know what their pain is. And how are we going to find out what their pain is? For that, in the social space, in the online space, there's a term going on, which is social listening. Social listening is something we've been exploring over the last couple of years. And social listening basically saves a seller time doing research, so the seller can spend more time selling. So picture the perfect salesperson. Imagine a conversation between a perfect salesperson and a customer. How is that conversation going? Is this salesperson talking a lot or listening a lot? I put all my bets on listening. And why? This salesperson wants to know as much information as possible to link what's going on their side, their pain, their problem, to their solution. That solution can later lead to his product or his service, for example. This exactly is happening online as well, but that's called social listening. And what does social listening actually mean? It is exactly the same as what the seller on the other side of the table is doing, but online. So instead of talking to someone, I'm using all the data sources available to do research on that specific account or person. So I'm leveraging LinkedIn, I'm looking on Sales Navigator, I'm looking on Google, I'm looking on offline sources, I'm looking on events, anything that has anything about that certain person I would like to talk to or that I'm going to talk to. And what does that bring me? It gives me a way better mechanic in the conversation, because when I'm engaging on these insights, when I'm actually touching on the subjects that this person has been talking about in the past, that's possibly because this person is interested in that topic. So I spend less time guessing in a conversation, and I spend more time talking about what he actually is caring about. And that just shortens the conversation overall, and it also gives it a way more pleasant conversation. So to give you an example, from the reports that we've generated in the past, there's usually some crucial information of mutual contacts. Oh, you know this person? Oh, great. How do you know this person? That is already a nice thing to bring up in a conversation. Oh, we studied at the same university? That's already a nice thing to talk about. Worked in the same company in the past, for example. Attended the same events. Have daughters working at the same school. It almost becomes a little bit of stalking, but just having that information really helps you in establishing a common ground with your buyer. So once again, time is money, and that's why social listening is so important for sellers.